China's mysterious J-36 sixth-generation fighter has just entered what could be its most important phase yet. On July 23, 2026, the fifth known prototype of the massive tailless aircraft was spotted during flight testing in China. And while the aircraft may look broadly similar to the previous prototypes, a closer look suggests that Chengdu is continuing to make important changes to the design. The biggest question is simple. Is this still just another prototype, or is China now approaching a production standard configuration? The J-36 first became public in December 2024, when the first prototype suddenly appeared flying over Chengdu. Since then, the program has moved at remarkable speed. Additional prototypes have appeared with changes to their air intakes, landing gear, engine exhausts, and other aerodynamic features. The fifth airframe now appears to represent the latest step in that evolution. One of the most interesting areas is the engine exhaust system. The earlier prototypes featured a distinctive exhaust arrangement, while later aircraft are seen more eager a recessed exhaust associated with two-dimensional thrust vectoring control. These nozzles appear designed to provide additional control authority, while maintaining the aircraft's tailless configuration. However, the newly spotted fifth airframe appears to show a different exhaust design. From the available imagery, the rear section looks more blended and possibly closer to a trough-style or deeply integrated exhaust arrangement. At this point, it is important to be cautious. The image quality is not high enough to confirm exactly how the new exhaust system works, or whether the aircraft has completely abandoned thrust vector. With the apparent change is significant because the exhaust system directly affects thermal signature, controllability, and engine performance. The engine intakes also appear to be an important part of the J-36's evolution. The first prototype has distinct canard-shaped side intakes. Later versions appear to move toward more advanced diverless supersonic inlet, or DSI configuration. The fifth aircraft appeared to retain a later intake arrangement, suggesting that this part of the design may now be closer to the final configuration. The reason is obvious. The J-36 is an enormous aircraft powered by 3 engines, and it's designed as must balance enormous power requirements with stealth and aerodynamic efficiency. Another major difference between the power types is the landing gear. The first aircraft used a tandem arrangement for its main wheels. Later prototypes changed to a more conventional side-by-side configuration. This allowed the landing gear system and its internal bay to be redesigned, potentially reducing the space required for the landing gear and improving the aircraft's internal layout. At the most important change may not be minimal layout. The J-36 is believed to be designed as a long-range combat aircraft with a large internal weapons capacity, advanced sensors, and a two-person side-by-side cockpit. Its broad, tailless design suggests that China is prioritizing range, payload, stealth, and the ability to operate deep into contested airspace. And that is why the appearance of the fifth prototype is so important. Normally, an advanced fighter program requires years of testing before engineers settle on a final design. But the J-36 program has already produced at least 5 known airframes in roughly a year and a half after the first prototype became prevalent. Some Chinese military observers and online aviation analysts are now speculating that the fifth aircraft could be close to a low-rate initial production configuration. But there is currently no official confirmation that this is a production aircraft. More cautious interpretation is that it may be one of the final development prototypes, an aircraft designed to test a configuration much closer to the version China ultimately intends to build. Either way, the speed of the program is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. The first J-36 prototype flew in late 2024. By July 2024, the fifth known airframe reportedly entered flight testing. Though the aircraft's design continued to evolve through three distinct intakes, exhaust system, landing gear, and other features. This suggests that China is not simply building one experimental aircraft, it's further funny. Instead, Junun appears to be using multiple airframes to rapidly test different solutions and move toward a mature 6th-generation design. The J-36 is still officially shrouded in secrecy, and many of its most important capabilities remain unknown. But one thing is becoming clear. China's first publicly known sixth-generation fighter program is no longer at the stage of simply proving that the aircraft can fly. With the stiff prototype now entering testing, the real question may be how quickly this enormous tailless fighter can move from experimental aircraft to an operational weapons system. And if the current pace continues, the answer could come much sooner than many analysts originally expected.